Greetings, everyone. Nathan Nerdarchy here from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds, hanging out with some nerds, and we are back for my pay-to-play games, The Holds of the Moridanes. And this is part 2 of The Holds of the Moridanes, episode 1, and let's jump into it. It's been only about a minute or so since you've entered into this combat and fight and just took a moment or so to look around. Darline comes back. You see her enter the doorway. She looks around. What in the world has gone on with all this? I did not notice this was broken into.
I'm assuming I'm in the back corner. Is that correct?
Yes, you're in the back corner. She's like, what have you been doing with my mud?
Miss, it appears that some creatures that made of mud were eating your black gold. We fought them and dispatched them, but as you can see, all the mud that's everywhere, they blew up when they were killed. Don't know what kind of creatures they are. Sorry, Nate, whoever the person was that said that they were mephits of some kind. Was that Bard that said that?
It was someone who rolled well on their nature, I believe.
I think it was Bard.
I think it was Gambit, perhaps, or...
Gambit, okay. Our gentleman here thinks that they were some kind of mephit from a different plane.
She looks at you, kind of nodding and looking around like she's very suspicious of you. But she's like, when you say a mephit out of the mud, she goes, "Oh yeah, I've heard of that before. I've never seen one in person before. No matter how much I've dug up peat in that old swamp, I haven't come in contact with any of them. But even though this is a very particular situation and scene we've got going on here, I do believe you're telling me the truth."
Miss, if it helps, my wagon's in the back there. I'm not going to steal where I keep my own wagon. I guard shipments on this road for the last 50 years. We're not trying to steal nothing. The lad's telling the truth. These weird, bobbly creatures came at us, and when they died, that's what happened. You can ask, you can ask all of us. Put us through a magical test. We'll all say the same thing. Not something we want to repeat.
She's got holding her shovel in one hand and looking at you. She goes, I understand. She's waving, kind of like a placating. It's okay. You don't have to tell me anymore. When I first came upon this scene, I could have swore that I had brought a whole bunch of drunks to help me investigate this, but I do understand. I do believe your tale. I have heard of this situation happening before, just not for a very long time.
Can I walk up to the door, like past her, and tell her I need to go clean up?
Yeah, she gives you a wide berth and puts her hand out and goes, "After you."
I think we all need to clean up. Yes,
she walks back out. She's like, "I'm gonna go check on my stores and see if I've got enough black gold left to make.
Do you know who? Good.
To make payments this month." So she goes in and she starts inventorying what she has left.
Who?
You saying you're worried about her looking at something and something being in the cart?
No, I was just saying that some of her shipment is still okay in the cart.
Yes, some of it is.
They didn't need all of it.
Yeah, about half of it's left, yes.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, half's better than none," and she goes over and starts inventorying things with her shovel in hand. All right, anybody that's mucked up is going to go head down to the stream.
Yeah, who needs to look after the stable boys? Should we notify somebody?
When he comes to more, I'm going to ask him who I should contact.
Oh, he does come to pretty readily, especially during the conversation everybody was having with Darline. He started to get out of his sleepy state. He goes, "Oh, there's mud demons everywhere." And he goes,
"Hey, don't worry. Don't never mind about that. They're gone now. You got family or somebody we can contact to see after you?" Yeah.
My aunt's probably at the end. I feel okay. I think I can walk on over there.
Nah, I'm going to walk with you just to be sure. We think we
Okay.
got all of them, but you never know about these sort of things.
When you put out your hand, he'll grab it to get up and start walking with you. Okay, you guys are going to go clean up at the stream.
Yep,
Uh,
definitely.
as Silverthorn, as you take the boy carefully over to the inn, a whole hubbub is started when they see you come in, and they're like wondering what's going on. And Gerald comes over. Gerard? I think it's Gerard. Gerald? I don't remember my own innkeeper's name.
I got it down as Gerald.
Yep, Gerald. You are correct. Gerald comes over and says, what's this about?
There was some incident apparently with some sort of minor demon down at the stable. He was roughed up a bit, looking for his papa to take care of him.
He immediately starts checking over the boy and says, a demon?
Oh, Gerald was the father? Or Gerald?
I know where his mama is. I'll take him to him.
Much obliged.
He goes over and he gets the kid something to drink and sets him down, and the kid's kind of dazed and goofed, but you can leave him. He's in somebody else's care now.
All right, I'll head back to the stable. Don't want to. I know how these city folks are about property being left unattended, so I'll go to stand by the door till my compatriots come back.
Okay, they're going to go wash up at the stream. We're going to take a slight break, and then we'll be right back.
I've got this here thing I found in one of those dead mud things. I don't know what it is, but maybe you do.
I'm not so sure. Let's have a look at all three of them together.
We can all take a look at it around the table at the tavern.
Yeah, after we're cleaned up, I'm assuming we're meeting at the table and talking to the lady.
Yeah, we can do it in that way.
That sounds perfect, then. I can refill my cup.
What would you want? A history or insight or
Arcana.
arcana?
For the items?
Yeah, to look at him.
Yeah, that's going to be an Arcana.
Arcana.
Can we make checks now, or does it take more time?
If you guys want to go sit down at the inn, you cleaned up. You don't look like you just went through a mud pit fight, so...
Yeah.
Oh, we'll definitely do so, yeah.
Okay. You settle down at the inn. People have asked you questions. They come up to you and be like, well, what really happened? And Darline's come in and she's just shooing people away. Get away. Give these people some sit down and rest.
I just glare at people.
Yeah, the master of the inn comes over and says, I heard you've been through some trouble. It's on the house, since you helped out Darline.
Well, in that case, I guess maybe we want to order some of his cooked meat.
All right, and he goes, oh, right away, I'll get it for you. I'll tell Stephen to prep it. I'll tell Stephen to prep it in the back.
Yeah, and the bones for Drew, please.
Yeah, of course. So you all sat down and
Have a drink.
yes, have a drink.
Sure.
You know what? It was funny, Sean. When I was looking at you when you're all big and you're drinking it, looks like you're drinking a giant gallon of milk. But then,
That's because it is a gallon jug.
yes, but with the light, how you're moving it, it looked like it was milk. But when I see it in the little when I see the little thumbnail at the bottom, I'm like, oh, that's water. But for some reason, like the glare is just right. It looks like a giant full jug of milk. Just like never empties.
Stick with whichever's funnier. We'll pretend it's moonshine.
Okay. That works. So we're sitting down for a drink. You've ordered some food. They are giving you extra bits of stuff, and they're not charging you anything.
Yeah, that's moonshine, all right.
Some of it's going down the wrong pipe. But, it's nice to be clean after all that ruckus that just happened.
I'd like to examine the whole one, not the cracked one, if that's all right.
Yeah, there was the whole one that actually glowed with a bit of light with detect magic.
Yeah.
There are
You said
there are two others that were found that do not glow at all.
I think we're all looking at them, so I think we can.
Okay.
Whatever you want us to roll. So
All right. Anybody that's got Arcana can roll.
Oh, let me check.
I do. Ooh, baby. What do I got?
20.
19.
Okay.
Cool.
Bard and Erevan, you both see similar rune patterns that talk about binding and summoning. That's kind of the theme that you're seeing on the one that you examined, Erevan. Kind of been passing them back and forth. Major thing you notice between the one that still has a little glow to it and the one that's broken is that several of the major binding symbols are busted off. Similarly, Bard, you notice that there is a slight crack, though it is still contains some magic. There is a slight crack going across one of them for the summoning section. So the one that still has magic a bit left in it, it looks like it still had damage to it. It probably has lost some of its magic properties.
Is the runes, are they a specific language that we can recognize?
The magic language, so it's going to be based in Draconic.
Draconic, okay.
You can definitely recognize it. Anybody that is schooled in magic would know the runes.
Oh yeah, let me check. No.
So anybody that makes a point to learn something about it, like if you have Arcana as a proficiency,
Yes. Okay, cool.
then you recognize immediately that they are Draconic. But then you also can read the actual writing of it as it pertains to magic. You don't have the Draconic language, but you can read it. Like, it would be like, can you speak hieroglyphics? No, but you can interpret hieroglyphics. So it's a similar concept. You can interpret the magical meaning behind the positioning of all the Draconic runes on it. So it's binding and summoning.
Silverthorn gets a pensive look on her face and reaches out for one of the broken ones. It occurs to her that those creatures had stones for teeth. So she wants to see whether or not she can see gnaw marks or tooth marks on the broken one.
No, you don't see any null marks, but you do see on the one that's got a chunk missing out of it, it looks as if it was smashed with something long. Like a club or something. Like it was just whacked with it.
Okay, so not chewed on.
No, it is not chewed on. You would think that they most likely did not do this to themselves.
One of the abilities of a sage is if you don't know the specific lore, you probably know where to find it.
Yes.
Her saying this had happened before, she'd heard of it before. Would I know where where to find that in the library or something? Like,
Oh,
this happening?
you can ask Darline, and she will most likely be able to tell you where she heard it from. And yes, you are right. You could probably go to the library with the information you gained and go and figure stuff out.
All right. Well, then I'd like to get a little back history on the mud myth.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
cool.
want to get her attention?
Yeah, and essentially just ask her what she knows about it. Like, this is where she heard, what caused it, or what happened around them showing up, what made them go away, stuff like that.
Yeah, so she had just come back from washing her hands. She grabbed a mug of ale and is just kind of leaning up against the bar on her elbow and drinking. And she was looking, she was kind of being like nonchalant, looking in your direction to kind of see what you guys were up to based on what's happened so far. So when you try and get her attention, she comes over, says, "Yeah, what can I help you with? I wanted to give you guys and gals a little breathing room."
Essentially, I was interested in, you would say that you had heard about this before. Do you know what brings these guys? You know, what events cause these guys to show up, stuff like that?
Well, I've never had them bust straight out of my mud before, but I have heard tell that sometimes, either in really wet times or in certain parts of the year, there are events that I would say lend themselves to having these things show up. But it's not that time of year, and I haven't heard head nor hair of any of this goings on for a few years. These are more like stories I've heard from people.
All right.
But I would
Do
say...
Sorry. Do they happen in a specific area? Like you said, maybe flood season, like maybe some ruins that got covered up and they flood and these things get kicked out of them or something? Is it like area specific?
Well, by the swamp, every once in a while, I'll when I'm cutting up some of the peat, there'll be a thing there, here or there that dulls my blade, and sometimes it's a piece of rock, and sometimes it's a statuary piece or some kind of piece of ruin. But I haven't seen any structures out in the open or anything like that.
Any mounds? Just random mounds?
Yes, there have been barrow mounds around that area. It's an older area. I'm sure some of the maybe early settlements of different groups have buried their dead there. So.
But you didn't dig anywhere near these places, is that
Oh
right?
no! I have the utmost respect for people on their burial rights. I stay far away from that area. Not because there's anything sinister, but just out of respect.
Well, I understand that you dirt diggers, you really want to prize this prized possession of yours. But if you could tell us where you dug this load up from, we might be wanting to mosey on down, take a look.
What? What was that?
What?
Going where? No. Oh no.
At least not until after breakfast.
Well, I don't mean right now. No big hurry on that. I'm just curious as to where this stuff was. Because if these, I put up one of the trinkets. If these here doodle hickeys are out there in the dirt, there might be something else out even worse than the dirt out there. I want to go take a look see.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll let you know. So, about 3 miles down Merchant Circle Road, you can make a left off of a path, and you can take that right towards the swamp area, and that will be where you would find all kinds of areas to dig and such. And there is a nice low area that has plenty of good peat, and I cut into that area. So it'll be the lowest point in the area, and you'll be able to see it.
And from her description, does that match into my knowledge of geography so I can find it?
You haven't explored all the little side roads in this area yet, but you've ranged enough in the area to know that there are plenty of paths off of the Merchant Circle that go towards farmsteads, go towards mining areas like small mines or small harvest areas.
So her description isn't specific enough.
Her description isn't specific enough that right now, from where you are right now, not visualizing the area, you kind of like, oh, okay, so it's in the area of such and such.
I ask her, can you describe what that path looks like when it hits the road?
Oh, well, it hasn't rained yet, and I dug into that just the other day, so you'll see the bricks missing from the peat.
But I mean, you told us to take a path off the road. Well, there's plenty of paths off the road down there. Which path is what I'm trying to get at, you see?
Well, about 3 miles down. It goes towards the swamp.
And when you get to it on your own, what makes you allow you to recognize it? Like a particular bush or rock?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, it just takes a certain amount of time, so there's not any real roads, there's not any real paths coming off that are big enough. But, let's say if you see...
Oh, that's right. You got your cart sense, so I have to look for something big enough to go with carts down it.
Yes, you'll see the carts. Mm-hmm. You'll see the cart ruts.
All right, thank you.
All the rest of those trails in the area are all game trails and creature trails. They're not going to be any big rutted ones.
Thank you kindly. Now all I have to do is figure out how to convince Kenny to get out of his little tavern here. By the way, Kenny, I got a question for you.
Oh Lord.
Well, you see, these things were eating dirt, and it makes me wonder. When you dwarves, you all live underground, you guys eat dirt too? I mean, what grows down there?
No, you don't eat dirt. You run around in the wilds. Do you eat dirt? I mean, there's plenty of it around. Just because it's there doesn't mean we eat it.
Well, no, we eat all the green stuff and animals and such. See, my grandpap, he told me that the reason that the tall mountains, that they don't have any trees growing on them, is that there's dwarves underneath eating all the roots. Now, I didn't know, don't play no mind of mine, Dan, but is that true?
Let me think. That would be a no.
A gnome?
A no. Not a no. I'm going to cut out my own mud methods on you, Mr. Nate. We eat plenty of other things. Mushrooms, animals, other things. We can forage with the best of them.
Tasty.
Well, I have to admit that your foraging skills here in this tavern have been quite admirable.
Exactly. If you know how to order off the menu, life is good.
I'll just settle back and start eating.
So it's been a pretty rough night, and it is winding down towards a time where people are going to be telling stories, playing music, just kind of giving it one last huzzah before it's off to bed. Many of the merchants who were earlier upstairs drinking and smoking and interacting with each other, they have gone off for an early rest so they can rise up to do merchanting things. So the tavern is getting quiet, but you do know there are several people who are probably sticking around just to try and hear something juicy from what you've been going on about and chattering with themselves. A thin, graceful, say young man, but almost still too boyish to be considered in his early 20s, comes out from behind from the kitchen and behind the bar. And he goes, "All right, I'm going to be finishing up for food, so last call for food and ale."
Consider it called.
All right. He seems very, very happy and amiable. And he goes off back and gets some more stuff. You hear pots and pans moving around and different things.
I think it's time for bed. That's what I think.
I'd have to concur. Can we talk to the gal and schedule to meet her in the morning here? Or I guess we don't need her. Can we, I guess, meet in the morning and head off to the swamp? Or
Why exactly are we going to a swamp?
We're wanting to go where? No, why?
Because there may be more of these things popping on up out of the ground.
Exactly. That's a reason to stay here.
I don't see any money in it for me yet, so I'm on vacation. I'm protecting things. I would need to see some gain of some kind.
Well, these little talismans, they must be worth something now, shouldn't they?
Well, they're broken. We need somebody to tell us if they're worth anything.
I'll try my best to attain the appraisal of such a thing as a guild artisan jeweler.
As a guild artisan jeweler, you are well versed in crystal and ware and other things and ornament. And from a non-magical perspective, these do look like an interesting piece of jewelry. The threads are silk, some kind of silk, that wrap around and make interesting woven designs to hold these crystal pieces. And it looks like you would say, it's either a necklace or a circlet. And from the crystal, you're not really sure how that had been cut, but it looks like it has been, as you gather them and look at them, it looks like as if it's been cleaved from a much longer piece, as if these had all been one piece at one time. From your jewelry knowledge and your crystal and gemstone knowledge.
And do I recognize the material or what the value of it might be? Like the crystal itself?
You are not familiar with this type of crystal. It may be extraordinarily clear quartz, but it's rutilated. It has these little lines coming through it. So it gives it a little iridescent sheen to the inside of it as light is reflected off of pieces within inside, little line pieces of crystal inside the larger piece. And that is one of the ways that you could tell that they were all probably from one maybe crystal pillar or something like that and have been cleaved and struck apart. Is because they have very similar line structure patterns within them. But you are not sure. It could be some kind of rhyolitic quartz as far as you're concerned, which is, again, a quartz crystal with those lines in them.
He'll definitely hang on to his one broken one proudly.
You would say if they're whole and in that condition, they're probably worth 10 gold apiece.
Okay.
Cracked, not so much, but you could probably artistically develop a piece out of it.
Every bit of gemstone helps, yeah.
That's true.
Bard, did you say that you might be able to find out more about these things?
Yeah, the college or the library's only a couple miles. I could run up there and do some research.
Probably not till the morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm ready to rest for the night.
Yeah. So let's regroup in the morning. I don't know about going out into the swamp, though.
I'm not going to set that high on my to-do list, but
All right, so let's
we'll see what the
group in the
morning
morning.
brings.
Yep.
Do they charge just to sleep down in the common room?
They don't encourage sleeping down in the common room, considering that people don't tend to, even though it's last call, people still stay around and hang around and sometimes talk and chat with people.
Well, actually, I'm not going to sleep. I mean, can I stay there overnight?
Yeah. If you want to like sly, chill out and meditate, you're asleep
Yeah.
away. Okay, yeah, you can do that, and people just think you're just kind of like dozing off or something.
And I'm trying to get into a seat near the corner so I can put my back up against the wall, my pack against the wall, and sort of sit on it.
Okay, could I have some perception checks?
Yeah.
Now that you guys are not engrossed in what you're doing and you're getting up and kind of looking around and leaving.
Ooh, sweet. Nat 20.
Okay.
I like that. 22 if you want to know.
14.
All right.
7.
A mighty 12.
Okay.
21.
All right.
Apparently, I'm already meditating for the roll.
You're like, all right, time to hit the old place in the corner and chill out. All right, so you're getting up to move away. Erevin, you've noticed something, and Bard, you have noticed something as well. Oh, who had called for... I don't know how to say your name.
Can
Kane? You have not received your ale yet that you asked for.
Well, that's not good.
So you notice something's amiss because they're pretty good about customer service and getting food and ale into people's hands. You kind of turn towards the bar and the kitchen, wondering, maybe Steven's just going to bring it right out to me right now, and he is not coming. Erevin and Bard, you both notice that as you are getting up to pass by the fire on your way upstairs, that fire is not right. You could have, both of you do a double take as you admire the nice warm fire on this cold fall evening, but you look at it and then you look back again and you're like, I swear I saw a face.
Okay. That's not good.
As you see that, one of the logs hops out sideways and rolls in between you two and bangs up against one of the chair table legs and table legs and starts smoldering there.
Is there a cup of ale handy that I could pour on it?
Yeah, there's probably some left over you can grab and pour on it.
We'll go ahead and pour some ale on that.
Okay, you hear...
Not the ale.
I see that.
Fire.
Well, Nate, while he does that, I'm pulling out daggers and going, what the hell?
That was an odd pop for a log, wasn't it? Yes, he's going for some ale and begins to pour things on it. You draw your daggers.
I'm just standing. I was standing up to go toward the kitchen to just check and make sure everything was okay, or is he bringing the food out? Did he run out? Just to check on.
So as you look over the bar, you see that there is a mug on the ground with spilled liquid, and you also see that Steven's arm is in a barrel, and he's looking very bluish. Like, you've seen people have problems with being too cold, and it looks like he is extremely cold, and his arm seems to be like he's holding onto the barrel like he's falling asleep or something. But he seems like he's turning blue.
Can I rush to his aid?
Yes, you may. Let's roll initiative.
Yeah, there's a surprise.
Or we tell a good story.
Okay, who has a 20 or higher?
I do. But I failed my perception check, so I don't know anything's going on.
Well, you're going to hear, you hear a start, kind of like, what? From a...
Oh, that's right. He said that when he drew his
Sine,
daggers.
yeah, he's...
Yep.
And you see another person draw their daggers, and he wasn't going to carve up something, so...
Okay, I'll spin around, and do I see anything?
Yes, you... Oh, what's your initiative? I want to kind of like get initiative settled.
Oh, 22, sorry.
Like taking up time. All right, so we've got Silverthorn at 22. The fire is also going to go. We've got Eravin at 19. Sine at 15. Stuffed by Steven at 14. Bard at 9. And Gambit at 8. So what would you like to do, Silverthorn? Because you are definitely faster. You're faster than fire.
So I see the fire in the fireplace doing something weird.
Yes, in fact, as you're looking at it, well, as you see him draw his daggers, you notice that you definitely notice the log pop and roll out and hit a chair.
But do I see anything? Is the fire just fire, or is it like a body of fire? Or a face or something?
Well, you're going the same time at it, so I'll let you know. While you're considering what you're doing, the log kind of splits off into pieces, and like you hear like a crack crack, and different limbs and things come off of this flaming log.
Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, so it looks a little more anthropomorphic. It's like a wooden stick figure on fire.
And how big is this common room?
The common room is quite large. It is... Oh, you know what? I have a picture. I will show you.
Because I'm thinking if mud creatures explode, I don't want to know what fire creatures do.
Oh, good point. So here's Steven, stuck in a water barrel area. The dwarf's here. Everybody else is kind of going this way. Silverthorn, you were going to find a spot over in the corner somewhere. There are a few patrons still here drinking and just kind of hanging out and quietly talking or just reminiscing. You two were in front of the stone fire area, and it popped out and it rolled past you and hit this chair. So Bard and and Eravin, you are both over here. And then Gambit, you would have probably been around back over here, getting up to go on your way. So that's the setup.
And how tall is the fire creature that's coming out of the log?
It is about 3 feet tall with its legs and its legs to its top of its wooden head.
Okay, so I'll go move back to the farthest table, get up on top of it so I can see it, and attempt to shoot it with my bow.
Okay. So you're gonna hop up on the one of the tables and launch an arrow at it?
Yeah, the farthest table I can get to.
Okay, that'll probably be the one you came from. So you can just hop up on there.
Okay.
Like you're going up big stairs. That's gonna be it. From going from a chair to the table, and then you can turn around and strike at it.
All right. 19.
That will hit.
10.
All right, 10 damage.
Yes.
Okay. You have struck it. Must have hit it in between one of its woody joints, and one of its arms pops off, and is flopping around and burning on the ground.
Oh, so I disarmed it.
Yes,
Wow.
one disarm down. 2 more of the crackling sounds happen by the fireplace. And 2 more of these flaming log dolls run out, 1 to Bard and 1 to Erevan.
Yeah.
And they will attack. While the heat is pretty intense, it doesn't seem to be lighting you on fire, and they swung at you, but you dodged it quickly.
Okay.
And then the one that was disarmed has decided to pick up its limb and run around on some of the chairs and tables and tries to start spreading a fire. And it has ignited several of the chairs. They seem to have some kind of like springy reed mat to them to kind of give them a little bit of cushion, and that ignites readily. Some of the far bar stools and chairs on the left-hand side are beginning to ignite.
Yeah, well, the one that's attacking me, I'm going to attack. I've got a dagger out because it's the best I can do. My quarterstaff, I guess I have with me, but I wouldn't have pulled it out quick, so. Does 16 hit?
A 16 will hit.
And I do 2 points of, 2 points of damage. Not much.
Okay.
And then there's 2 of them there.
There is one close by. He's attacking Bard. There's one by Bard, which is close by you.
No, I just don't know if is there any way to interfere with anything that's trying to set fire to stuff, or is there not a way to do that? I don't know.
He's about 30 feet from you, running around setting stuff on fire.
Never mind. I can't get to him, so then I'm just attacking this guy.
Okay, but it's probably better than saying sit down. Kene,
I've been called worse. Okay,
Kene,
so
you can go.
Toward the down Stephen.
All right. He still has his arm like.
He looks like he's turning. Well, the only thing I think of the main do is the water in the barrel. So I'm gonna try and just knock him so that his arm is no longer in the barrel.
Okay, you're gonna try and yank his arm out, or just set him on the ground?
Just separate him from the barrel in the most expedient way.
Okay. Make a strength check.
I would.
You can do it. You can do athletics if you'd like.
22.
Ooh.
Okay. You give him a good. You start to just kind of like get his arm off, and then you realize his arm's stuck. So you give it a really good yank without breaking his arm. Well, first off, when you touch him, he's very cold, and as you pull him out, there is a whole bunch of water comes out with him. Some of it splashes you, and it's ice cold from the mountains cold. As you pull him out, what's attached to his limb is this quickly solidifying gremlin-looking thing. It's got a pointy nose, crystalline slivers cracking off of it as the excess water freezes and cracks off of it. And you hear a crackling hiss like frozen ice cracking, shattering, and scraping when it sees that you're there. Let's go with Steven and it tries to give you a whack.
All right.
13 without your shield, does that hit?
No.
Okay. Well, it gives you a whack on the arm, but you didn't feel it.
Okay. Now you've done it.
And now it is Bard and Gambit.
All right. I want to make a skill check. See what these things are, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are.
Okay.
What do I roll?
You're kind of trying to take in everything. You just saw Kene pull out a weird crystalline ice creature, and you see the fire log creatures running around. You can roll Arcana.
Oh, I can? Sure. I would be happy to roll Arcana.
Anybody that has Arcana may roll it.
Okay, good.
I got an 18.
By having it, does that mean you must be proficient in the skill?
Yes.
That's such a shame.
You can always get some more skills.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Okay, does everyone have a good idea of what the map looks like?
Yes.
Okay.
Not really. No.
Oh, that's right. We have to describe it. Okay.
It
So
looks like a death trap.
to the right-hand side behind the bar is where Kane and Steven are. Steven seems to be unconscious at best, and there's an ice creature on him. About 30, 40 feet away from him, there is, at your original table, there is Silverthorn, who is up on a table, currently shooting arrows at things. Right by the fireplace, about 50 feet from the bar area, there is some log flaming creatures that have come out of the pit and are attacking both Erevan and Bard. And you are kind of like in the mist in between like the three groups. There's one of the fire creatures that ran off to the far edge, probably about 60, 70 feet from you, and has started lighting some of the chairs on fire.
Okay, it's still Rick's action, isn't it? Or Bard's action?
It is, yeah, it's Bard can go. So you were saying you're rolling your Arcana?
Yeah, I got an 18.
Okay, you know that these are definitely creatures that are elemental in nature. You're not so sure. I mean, you've heard of flaming creatures going along with their food source. So you're thinking that some kind of fire creature, rather than a wood creature being on fire, there's probably some kind of fire spirit or something attached to the wood right now. The ice creature is probably another mephit, another weak elemental creature.
Lovely.
And those things can be deadly cold, from what you remember.
All right. I guess first thing, I'll pick up my shield and stuff and arm myself. I want to yell at the other patrons to, if they see something catching on fire, to put it out with their ale or whatever they can so it doesn't spread. Can I do that?
Yeah, go right ahead. You can do the Arcana check, and that as free. That's free for you.
As my action?
No, that's free. You can
Oh, it's free?
you can yell stuff at them.
Then yeah, I'd like to say, hey, try to put the fire out if you can.
Yeah. At this point, many of them have reflexively kind of thrown their stuff at the creatures that are on fire and are trying to get out of the area. So they kind of did what you asked for. They're like, "Oh, sure, throw the stuff."
Is there any like big pitcher or something? I want to try and throw it at the fire pit. Try to put out the fire pit.
There is a large barrel of water in the kitchen area where an ice mephit just popped out of.
Well,
That's no point.
I'll take care of that.
But that's plenty of water. You could take a pot and fill it up and...
I'm actually a little bit more scared of the water than the fire.
Okay.
So I'll kiss whatever's closest creature to me. I'll cast Sacred Flame on and see if that affects a flame elemental thing.
Okay, you want to do Sacred Flame on them?
Yeah, it's radiant damage. I don't know if that's fire damage.
It's not the same thing. What's your DC for your save?
11.
Okay, it passed. You saw a puff of radiant blast by it, but it moved out of the way.
Okay.
They're pretty spry running around. You would think that it's probably going to be difficult for them to fall for getting hit with that.
All right. Then I think I'm done.
All right, Gambit, you're up.
Can I reach, if I were to use my movement, could I reach the fire creature that is hopping around on the tables?
You're going to have to full out run because he's on the other end of the area.
So that'd be a dash to get to them.
Yeah, you'd have to dash to get to him.
And what about the kitchen? Can I get to Steven?
You can get to Steven, yes.
I'm going to go to the boy who is he look like he's about to die? Like
he's looking pretty bad.
So if he's still conscious then and still within, I'm going to do cure wounds on him.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you touch him and cure his wounds, he looks much more alive. His face has flushed with a nice rosy glow, and he sputters and coughs and rolls over on his side and gets sick.
I'll try to just keep him away and shield him from the ice mephit that's right adjacent to us, I'm assuming now?
Yes.
Right, I'll just try to protect him from that as I end my turn.
Okay, he's basically adjacent to all of you because he just left Steven alone to attack Kene.
Okay.
Top of the order, Silverthorn, you're up.
Can I see the fire elemental that's running around right now, or do
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to move? Okay.
He's like waving. It's like he's waving a torch around. You can see him readily.
Okay, do I have line of sight is what I mean. I have a
Yes.
shot at him. Okay, as I draw a bead on him, I yell, you know, Kenny, if we'd gone out to the swamp tonight, this wouldn't be happening. And now I shoot at the fire elemental.
I don't like you right now.
15.
All right, that's a hit.
Ooh, 11.
Wow, cool.
So you.
I'm just saying, swamps don't have fire.
We wouldn't go until the morning anyway.
It's running behind the chairs, and as it comes right around the chairs, you take a bead on it and launch your arrow. It strikes it soundly in the neck, and it twitches a bit, falls over to the ground and smolders, and a blast of fire bursts out from it. And little chunks of wooden doll bits, stick figure doll bits, fly and float down and alight onto things around the area.
If I had read a grasp of the common language, I'd probably say deja vu right now.
You thought mud was pretty bad, but it didn't burn things down.
Hey, watch out, people. They explode.
You've slain that one, so that's not going to get to attack anybody. But the one by Bard and the one by Irvin are going to attack. And Bard, you easily lift up your leg and move out of the way. And Erevin, does a 15 hit you?
No.
Wow, okay. So it touches your clothes, and you are concerned it's lighting them on fire, but you don't see anything alight yet. But it looks like it's trying to hug you on the leg.
Lovely. I'm next, right?
Yes, 19.
How far away is this ice thing from me?
It is in practically another room. It's 30 feet to the bar.
Okay.
You're like 40, 45 feet out.
Okay. I was just water or ice and flame don't mix very well, so I was going to try to do something, but that's too far away. So.
That's a good idea.
But they're about 3 foot tall, right?
Yep, about 3 foot tall.
So can I knock them back into the fire? It's not very big.
If you want to hit them and shove them, yes, you could attempt that. They're small. They're like smaller than halflings.
No, do I think that might make it, that would do anything to them?
Well, maybe if it was the ice method, it would do something to it, but you would be knocking a fire creature back into fire.
Right. I'll just attack it, because I don't know what else I can do at this point. So.
Okay. You could show off your skills.
Well, I could, but that would, I'm not in immediate death dying thing, so. 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. 4 points of damage.
All right, you struck it soundly on the head.
Yep.
And cut off one of its little flaming wooden ears. But it is still trying to get a latch onto your clothes. It wants to see you burned up.
Also thinking that fire and water might not mix, and maybe if these weird creatures might not like each other. This ice thing, is it trying to move toward me?
Yeah, it's trying to claw at you.
But it's not like rushing me. I was trying to figure out a way to draw my shield and use the shield to kind of knock it toward where the fire ones are, so that those two could see each other and start a method war.
Well, if you picked it up and grappled it, you could probably huck it over the bar into the fireplace.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. But yeah. I'm pissed off. It's messed up my night, and so I'll do that.
Okay.
Grapple check.
Make an attack roll to see if you can grab it.
With what do you add to the die?
Strength and athletics. Go right ahead.
21.
Okay, you hit it.
So now I have a squirming ice thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you've grabbed hold of it. It is cold.
Well, yeah.
like
So okay. So how far away is it to get to one of the fire things?
if you moved 30, you could throw it another 10, and you could throw it. Oh, are you trying to throw it into the fire or hit one of the fire things?
I want to. Well, they came from the fire, but I want to at least test the theory. So I can move 25, and will that be close enough to at least get them close to see what they do to each other?
If you make it 25, you could probably pitch it. You could probably pitch it at it.
Let's do that because it also gets it away from Steven.
Okay. As you're hoofing it over there, you take 3 cold damage.
Great.
And your arm from basically you can't feel your hand. The only reason you know it's still there is because you're holding the creature.
Gotcha. Let's move over and do that to see if they go at each other.
You're gonna pitch it as well? They seem pretty preoccupied with the people they're fighting, and the thing that you've got in your hands is trying to claw at you and get rid of you.
Well, I'm testing the theory to see if they can help us do our job and take out each other. If not, we'll squash the little thing.
As you get closer to the 2 fire creatures and the fire in general, the ice creature is getting a little frantic. Not just because you're holding it, but because it feels like it's, you can see some of its ice melting.
Because it's reacting to the heat?
It does not like being in this room at all.
Then can I just pitch it into the fire?
Yeah, go right ahead. Give it a roll.
I will pitch. And while I'm walking over there with this thing, I'm going to continue the conversation with Silverthorn. We won't go into the swamp until the morning anyway, and this just makes my night. Another reason you never get up from the table. Shite happens. Same attack roll. 17 on the die plus athletics, and so plus 5, so 22.
Okay, you easily, get it over your shoulder, and like you're just tossing a big rock.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm just probably going to toss it underhand.
Okay, you give it a good wing out there, and it pinwheels its arms, trying to not be where you've thrown it, and it lands with a hiss right in the fire. As that happens, there is crackling, there's hissing, you see steam billowing out from the fireplace, and then a crackling explosion as pieces of charcoal and flaming bits of ash and steam is thrown everywhere. So anybody so this will be Bard and Eravin, you're not hit with any of it, except like a couple pieces of smoldering firewood. But what you did get hit with is there is a lot of cloudy ash steam all in your guys' faces and all over your clothes. It's very hard to see. You can easily see these pinpoints of light by your legs that are trying to light you on fire, but everything else is kind of difficult right now.
Got it.
But as you squint through the ash and smoke and steam, you can see the creatures that are still trying to hurt you. Kenny, you don't see any sign of things stirring from that mess.
Great. They deserve it, the little shites.
I'm giving you an inspiration for that.
Cool.
And in my game, you can have as many inspirations as I give you. If you don't spend them, they just keep accruing.
Okay, so we started with 1, so then
yes.
That would make a second? Okay.
Yes, you have a second.
Cool.
Gracias.
All right. Well, the ice method's not going anymore. Okay, Bard, are you all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. We had lightning strike and everything kind of went wonky for a sec.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, because I saw, a second you pop up from your phone.
Yeah, I got, everything, the internet just shut off.
Okay.
I think the router got reset or something.
You're good to go now?
Yeah, I'm back up and running.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so what you missed? What you missed was Kenna? Not Kenna. Kane. It's like
There you go.
Kane. Kane grabbed the ice method, took some cold damage, walked on over to the fireplace and hucked the thing into the fireplace. Underhand tossed it in there, and there was a big explosion of steam, dust, and ash everywhere. Sadly, both you and Eravin are in this cloud of steam, ashy smoke bits, with a couple pieces of cinder and stuff like that fell on you from the fireplace. And it's very hard for you to see right now. You can see easily the outline of the fiery being that's still trying to light you on fire, but other than that, things are obscured.
First of all, that's brilliant. I guess I can see one firing thing.
Yes, right in front of you, the one that's been attacking you.
I'm gonna. Sorry, I don't have the map. I can't see the map, but I should be like in the middle of the room by the center row of tables, correct?
Okay, you're kind of towards the middle. You're by the fireplace area, and you're about 10, 15 feet away from tables. So you're closer to the fireplace than you are to tables and chairs.
All right. Then, I'd like to go ahead and move away from the fire guy.
Okay, you'll know he'll get to attack you if you do that.
Yeah, the attack of opportunity, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't want him exploding on me.
That's a good point.
I can take a full move and then an action, right?
Yes, you can.
All right, I'd like to make a full move away from him, a space that there's nothing around, essentially.
Okay. He swung at you, but he must have trouble seeing as well because he missed you.
All right, and then I'll cast Sacred. Well, no. The water or ice thing's gone, correct?
Yeah, that's gone.
It probably will miss, but I'll cast Sacred Flame on the fire guy then.
Okay. It has passed the saving throw. So again, it moves out of the way of the blast of light.
All right.
All right, Gambit, you're up.
He is going to use his 18 strength to pick up the entire bucket of, or barrel of water over his head and carry it as far as he can into the room towards the fire elementals.
Okay, Gnome of Doom. You want to make a athletics check?
I certainly will.
It's a big barrel.
Oh, that's a natural failure.
You can use your inspiration.
Oh,
Okay, can I use that for what's that, another roll?
It lets you roll again, yes.
Okay, we'll try it again. That's not much better. So it's a +4 though, I think. Just a sec here.
Yeah, +4 for an 18. Do you have athletics?
Yeah.
I'll let you add that as well.
No, I don't have athletics, but
Well, then it's
a
just
+4
+4.
strength. It's a 10 altogether.
Well, you've got an 18 strength, so it really doesn't matter how small you are.
That's right. I thought just by the strength alone, I should be able to just do it.
Yes, you can lift it, but it is slow going. You can't like dash over there and throw it on it. So it's going to take you another round to get it onto one of the fire guys, if that's what you're trying to do.
That's perfectly fine. I'm trying to get it over into the room to use it to our advantage.
Okay, yeah. So you are halfway to either putting out a fire or putting out one of the fire creatures.
Wonderful. That's what I'll do for my turn.
All right. Simply because it's just how heavy it is.
That makes sense.
Okay, with that big cloud of steam, can I see any of the fire creatures?
Yes, you can still make out the fire creatures easily enough that you could attack them.
And I know that I see the full outline, so I'm not going to, shoot somebody else who's actually between me and the fire creature.
Yes, well, there is actually one that's by itself because a bard has run away from it.
Okay.
Strategically retreated away.
Okay, in that case, as I draw a bead on it, I say, well, Kenny, if I understood the dwarves could see in the dark, we could have gone tonight.
No, we couldn't have.
And now I will attempt to shoot it, and it rolls off the desk. And that is a 17.
That will hit.
And that is 6 damage.
Okay, you struck it in one of its limbs, and the arrow begins to burn, but you also see that the limb is kind of dangling there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about all these arrows are going to burn up.
Yeah, well, so far it's been, 3? They're gone.
And then I guess I'm done.
Okay, the 2 fire creatures, one of them will is coming back after Bard with a 20.
That hits.
Yes, okay, so that will be 10 damage as it leaps at you and claws at you.
That drops me.
All right. Everyone sees, because he's out of the misty cloud stuff now. So everyone sees the fire creature run out of the fog area, leap at Bard, and claw at him and knock him down to the ground.
But on the plus side, the fire kills any germs.
Sanitizing. All right, the other fire creature is not so successful at hurting you, Erevan. You're fine. As it swipes at you again and misses.
Okay. I think I'm next. Question, how far? I see that he's bringing this barrel over there. That Gambit's bringing this barrel over there.
You see the gnome hoisting this big barrel over his shoulder.
How far away is it now?
He is probably 15 feet away from you.
So I could try to pick him up and throw him into the barrel. Yes?
Whoa, okay, yeah, but it would be like grabbing not a smoldering log or a log that has a little fire on it, but a flaming, blazing log.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. But yeah, you can do it. You can try, is what I should say.
I gotta do it.
It'll only hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And think of the cool scars you can talk about. I put my hand in fire to save my friends.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do this. What do I just an attack roll or what?
Yeah, just
Using
attack.
Dex or strength?
Attack roll. You can add your strength, and you can add if you have athletics. I'll let you add it.
I don't have athletics.
Well then,
I have acrobatics. That's what I was gonna. But I can't use athletics.
Well, you can.
If I see him doing this, I'll attempt to lean just the right way to have this work.
Okay, so you're gonna try and help him with that. Okay.
I'm just trying to whatever it is.
I'll just lean the bucket whichever way it needs to go.
I got a 15, so whatever that is.
That'll hit. You grab him.
All right. How much damage do I take?
You take 6 fire damage. And,
okay.
And part of your arm's a light.
That's not good. Okay.
So whatever, if you have long clothes or if you have like a glove, it's on fire.
Okay.
God.
But do I get it? Do I get him in the bucket?
Oh yeah, you grit your teeth through the pain. He's squirming and trying to wiggle and claw his way out, and because he sees where this is going, and you hear a hissing crackle as you shove your hand in the barrel. You're gonna shove it in as far as you can so you can get your arm not on fire.
Oh yeah.
So you shove it into the barrel. A tremendous amount of hissing steam blasts you in the face. You take another steam damage worth of steam from the hot steam.
How much?
1 damage.
Okay, I'm at 0.
Okay. And now the barrel explodes, and you are sent. Gnome, you are sent tumbling, head over foot backwards into the bar. You take 4 damage from slamming into the bar very hard.
Oh, okay.
Erevan,
Okay.
you the last thing you feel is a tremendous shove as you are flying through the air, and then you don't have any other memories.
All right, I'm like out. I'm at 0 HP. So, all right.
Well, you were until you got sent flying. Hopefully, it didn't hit too hard.
Well, you have failed 1 death save.
Oh, lovely.
from
So
from
happy.
from the tremendous damage that takes from the expulsion of all the water into steam and the blasting you back onto the floor.
So we have learned that when you pull your beard into a point, it means you're going to kill us.
Oh, I didn't just do that.
Don't tell him that we know.
Oh, I'm trying to get all my tells, huh? All right. I'll just be like, keep my hands on the desk. Don't move. All right. By the way, the inn is on fire. So anyone's still up and able to move. It's looking pretty ugly, and you have an empty barrel and broken barrel that's in splinter pieces everywhere, and steam, which is not going to put out a fire.
I can't do anything.
Okay. And you have people on the ground injured? Oh, wait. There's still one more.
There's one more that's attacking Bard.
Yes.
Well, I had the same idea as my friend Aravan. Fortunately, he proved that was a bad idea, and not me. Wait, did I say that out loud? So I'm going to try and... We don't have any water left, so I'm going to try and, I have to take out the one that's burning with the battle axe. Just say
Okay.
I got to get him away from Bard. And if I'm near him, he'll at least have disadvantage if I'm there.
You're close enough you can take a swing at him.
Okay.
Bard's going to be very cooperative by not moving. So
I appreciate that because I'm trying to use him like a golf tee and just take out the flaming log, just like cutting it in half with the axe.
don't aim too low.
Yeah, a little shave.
Try to roll me around to my healing.
He's not an overweight sage, right?
17 on the die.
That will hit.
$11.
You struck it off of him, and it's rolling around. One of its limbs goes flying off, hits another piece of the inn's area, and you have a wounded creature on the ground. It got sent rolling away from Bard.
And I had to use my movement to get in position to attack, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I'm just gonna protect Bard in case the thing comes back
Okay.
and deal with it later.
Bard, you are unconscious, so you make a death save.
I was going to try to roll onto my healing kit. Can I do that?
What if the tweezers go in the place it's not supposed to?
I got a 10.
I believe a 10 makes it.
Yep. 10 or above succeeds.
Yeah,
That's
you get a
it.
little bit of a 50-50 there.
So what do I do? I just,
Basically, that means you check off one pass save, and if you get 3 pass saves, you stabilize, and you no longer have to make death saves. If you get 3 fails, you die. If you roll a 20, you pass twice. If you roll a 1, you fail twice. And if you take damage, you auto fail.
Quick question. Do I know that Gavin has tried healing people before? Never, based from today?
You probably saw him help somebody.
Son, help me.
Is it my turn now?
Yes, it is now your turn.
Okay. Is Bard the only one down, or wasn't Aravan also just in as bad of shape?
Erevan got blasted away from the exploding barrel just like you, but he didn't hit the bar. He just rolled several times.
Do they both look to be dying, or?
They're not moving, and the place is on fire, so they're as close to dying as it's going to get. Because if they don't move, they're going to be burned. You know, they're unconscious.
Who's closer to me then, Bard or Aravan?
They're kind of equidistant. You could help either one, but what's his face is over. Kane is over fighting the creature still.
Well, I'm standing over Bard.
Yeah, he's right by Bard.
Away, so.
Okay, so you can protect. I'll holler to him. Get Bard out of here. I'll haul him over your shoulder, and I will go over to Aravan, and I will. I'll use Spare the Dying on Aravan, so he can automatically pass his death save.
Okay,
there.
you are stabilized now.
He has 1 hit point now. Brings him to 1 hit point. And I will use whatever remaining movement or action I have to. I think I want to go save that boy behind the bar. I want to go try to get to him to pull him away from the safety.
Okay, you're going to go to Steven?
Yeah, I'll get as close to him as I can. I guess. Can I get all the way to him, or?
Hold on just a second. Yeah,
Sure.
you can, wait. Okay, so you walked, oh wait, is Spare the Dying have it's a touch, isn't it? You have to go up to Darevin.
I would have to go to him. Yeah.
And you can come back towards, you can
I only
come
have
back.
25
Yeah,
movement,
but you
so-
you couldn't get to the boy, but you can be on your way towards him. So basically,
I'll be on my way.
from where you are at the bar, you can walk to Aravan, Spare the Dying, and then walk back to where you were. And then next round you could
That's
get the boy. It doesn't give him 1 hit point though; it just stabilizes him.
Oh, okay. I was misled on that. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's it's better than nothing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you are spared
Stabilized.
from dying, Aravan, but you are still not
Am I?
conscious.
I'm unconscious. Okay.
Yeah, you're not able to do anything.
All right.
But you're no longer dying.
Well, that's good.
Okay, I can't think of anything to say to Kenny right now. So I'll run up to the bard, set my bow on the floor next to him, and attempt to stabilize him with my medicine skill,
Okay.
which is only +1. 13.
You have stabilized him.
The dice love me tonight. And
Oh, you're doing something useful then.
I don't think I can pick up my bow till next turn. Can I?
You can interact with it later. So yeah, you can just pick it up next turn and.
Okay, so I'll just basically face the direction that I saw the fire guy roll.
Okay. All right. The fire creature is attacking Kine. It tried to get up and lost balance and stumbled backwards, flailing its arms and touching more things and lighting another table on fire as it tries to stabilize itself from falling over. But it did not swing at you.
Okay, so Aravan's unconscious and Bard is unconscious. And
Yes,
Steven
but
is unconscious.
but everyone's stabilized.
Everyone's stabilized, and Gambit is moving towards Steven.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
you know what? Steven is actually is recovered and is like healthy, but he's still kind of shaken up about things. So he's kind of stumbling around in the bar area.
Does he try to start putting out the fire, or trying to?
He's pretty dazed from just getting up, but he
We don't have.
Curious.
There's nothing in here to put it out with.
he's frantically looking around for something to put water in.
Got it.
At this time, because some of the patrons had run out, you have heard yells for fire at way station, and there are people outside beginning to bring water, but the fire is pretty incredible. How it's spread due to the explosion and things.
Okay.
So much of the floor is, away from you. Some of the floor is alight. Many of the bar stools and things are alight, and one of the wooden wall areas is alight.
All right. In that case, Gambit gets Steven out. Yell upstairs. Make sure there's no one asleep. Don't know how that could happen, but there could be somebody asleep. Make sure they yell at them to wake up and jump out the window. I'm going to grab Bard and start dragging him. That might be easier than carrying. Would it be easier to carry him or just to drag him?
You're probably strong enough that you can pick him up and carry him, but it would be easier to drag him.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going to put him over my shoulder and do that because I'm going to when I get to Aravan, I'm going to grab his robes or whatever it is he's wearing, this nice blue costume, and I'm going to grab him somehow by an arm or whatever, and I'm also going to then drag him to try and get them both out.
Okay.
Because I don't know how long we have until people start taking damage.
Okay. So you're gonna occupy yourself with that.
If I need to use inspiration to do that, then I'll do that.
There's still a creature running around being angry.
Oh, okay. And is it between me and Aravan?
No, it's by you though, and it's within running distance of both the other. He could hit either.
Okay, then to modify that, first let me kill this thing.
Yeah,
and
sorry about that.
Then I'll pick up Bard. 18 total.
That will hit, yes.
And another 8 damage.
All right, you have cut the head off of the wooden flaming wooden doll. As it falls back, it crackles and hisses and explodes outwards.
Can I put up my shield?
Sure. Make a dex save.
Sure. Oh yeah, sure.
Shield Bard instead of yourself.
Oh, Bard's far enough away. It's not that big of an explosion.
That's a first.
Well, unless a 7 saves.
No, a 7 doesn't save. Take 4 fire damage from the explosion.
Take it, like it.
And as it explodes, the table that was by it gets flung end over end with one flaming side to slam into another section that's on fire. Several of the chairs get blasted away against the walls, or smash into kindling and start catching fire.
Conflagration. Great.
Yeah, so for how big this place is, a lot of it's on fire.
And fortunately, there are no witnesses to show that we're just wantonly. Anyway,
First a drunken mud fight, now lighting the inn on fire late at night.
As I sweep the axe through that thing, since Silverthorn is right there, as I'm doing that, I say to her, while I'm slashing at it, "You're a much feistier woman now than you were when I first met you out in the woods. I like this idea. This makes things much more fun. But we're still not going out to the swamps till the morning. We're going at all." And with that, I swing Bard over my shoulder, and I walk to where Aravan is, and I prepare to grab Aravan to drag him out too.
And Silverthorn yells back, "Now don't tell me you plan on staying the night in this here tavern, are you?"
If we put the fire out.
So the yells of fire, and the way station is ablaze sound throughout the night and echo everywhere. The fire is getting loud and hot. You can still make it to the door.
Are we still in initiatives?
No, everything is done. You guys can act freely. What you see, Gerald, master of the inn, is running down the stairs in his night clothes. He sees what's going on, and he points and yells, "Run outside now!" And he's like, "Do you have Stephen?"
We've got him. Is there anyone left up
Safe and sound.
Okay, great. Make sure he gets out safely. I'm going to close the gate. What he means by that is you see him start to wind this gear, and you hear these clack sounds as a stone pillar is coming up in between the stone area. There's an entire stone wall in between basically the wooden part of Waystation that is on fire and the stone area that is the older area that must have been something else at one point but is now the Waystation Inn. He begins closing this stone portcullis, this solid slab of stone to seal the gate.
Did he answer Sean's question about whether the people upstairs?
Oh. They should be fine. We will get out the back. This is just to protect the stairwell and other things. So he begins closing this, and it looks like It looks as if some kind of gnomish design happened here, or dwarven design, in that this slotted stone door slowly creeps up and closes off the smoke that was going up the stairwell to the area where people sleep and rest at the inn.
In that case, I'll do a quick, because I can run fast. I'll do a quick run around the parts of the common area I can that aren't on fire, making sure there's nobody still there.
Yeah, there's nobody else around except your downed companions and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just calling out for my dog, Drew, to make sure that Drew got out. He's smart enough not to stay where there's fire, I would think. But
Oh yeah, he bailed pretty fast.
Okay, that's his job.
He knows he's not a fighter. He's a companion. He's not a fighter.
Can I make a sleight of hand to dig around behind the bar before I make my exit?
Yes, you find a pouch of things.
Wonderful.
Okay, I'll let you know later.
Cool.
And I finished carrying these guys outside so they can get some fresh air and we can get them up on their feet.
Yes, and the people are making a bucket brigade from the well to the actual inn, and you can see how they're not actually trying to save the wooden part. They're trying to make sure that the part that is attached to the stone building does not catch the roof alight. So they are up on ladders pouring water onto the older part of Way Station Inn to make sure that the fire does not spread.
Silverthorn is very suspicious. Is there a vantage point you can climb up on, like another building across the street or something?
Yeah, you could.
I want to get to a high vantage point and slowly and carefully scan around 360 degrees.
Okay. What are you looking for? Anything in particular? Stuff that's out of place?
Rather than rampaging Miffits. Extra fires. Unusual motion. People running out of buildings that we're not currently in fire.
Yeah, the blaze is pretty all-encompassing for sight for your night vision. So when you look away from the blaze, it seems pretty quiet and tame. Everything is reflected in firelight. And there's not much that you see that is either not a person running to help or very quiet and still.
Well, I'll stay up there for now, just continually looking around, because I'm over 100 years old and I've never had this happen before, and this happened twice in one day.
Yes. So as you're on the rooftops looking around and seeing if you can see any other sights or suspicious activities, and as some of you are groggily waking up from your short nap, and as some of you are trying to shake off some of the effects of burns and freezings that you've had, very close by, people frantically try to ensure that the inn does not completely burn down. And it looks like they're going to be successful, but as you sit there watching, parts of the inn start to collapse in on itself as the second tier falls onto the first floor, and with a loud rush of clattering and smashing of wood and cracking of beams, and a hot rush of air as all that ceiling and floor falls down. Long into the night, for several hours, they continue to put water on it to ensure that the overall end is not damaged. And that will be it for this evening. This is going to be the sum up of the first whole episode. I'm probably going to chop this up into bits, but just to let you know that this is the first completed night that we ran the game for October 7th. Thanks again for everybody who is joining me. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.